Hello there, good afternoon. You're welcome to Newsroom on GHOne Television. I am Serwaa Amihere. Let's begin with our top stories. And coming up in the next hour, member of the Public Accounts Committee, Samuel George, threatens to hold management of GBC before Parliament over conflicting figures on amount of money paid for the coverage of the African Games. Also coming up, the Korle-Bu teaching. Hospital resumes outpatient renal dialysis services after 3-week closure over shortage of essential consumables. We'll be live to bring you the latest on that. We'll be taking you live to the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital to bring you updates on that. Also coming up, 25-year-old woman appeals for support after husband bolts upon birth of triplets a few years after delivering twins. Later on Election Hub, NPP denies copying NDC's Women's Bank proposal, citing key differences in the manifesto. And later on the international front, Sahel juntas accuse Ukraine of supporting rebels, urges UN Security Council intervention to ease tension. We have details of these and many more coming up shortly. To stay. Once again to Newsroom on GHOne Television. I am Serwaa Amihere. We're streaming live on Facebook and we're live on X as well. Please join us with your thoughts and comments. We begin the bulletin with sports. This morning, the Ministry of Youth and Sports has clarified the payments made to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation as the official broadcaster of the 13th African Games. Now, this follows disputed claims by the Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, that his outfits received $105,000 and not an amount in excess of $3 million as the official broadcaster of the 2023 All-African Games. During a Public Accounts Committee session, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Mustafa Yusuf, asserted that GBC had been fully compensated with an amount exceeding $3 million for the event's coverage. The GBC Director General explained that the bulk of the payments facilitated by the government was directed towards foreign third-party companies responsible for production, with GBC receiving only a fraction. But in a statement on Tuesday, August 2024, the Ministry of Youth and Sports disclosed that the total agreed amount for GBC services was $3.6 million. Out of this, $2.5 million was paid directly to GBC in 2 tranches, $1 million on 13th March 2024, and then $1.5 million on May 22, 2024. And I'm sure that as many of you want questions to the answers, I beg your pardon, to the questions that you have. Let's go via Zoom and speak with the PRO of the Sports Ministry, Kenneth Annan. Kenneth, thank you very much for your time. Let me ask you this, though. Why was the rights of the All-African Games not sold?
Serwaa. And I would like to say a very big thank you to you for giving me this opportunity to respond to this issue on your platform. And I say a very good afternoon to all your listeners and viewers out there. Well, first of all, I would just like to walk you through briefly the issues that actually brought about this whole issue today. before the 13th African Games, the ministry was looking for a broadcaster to be able to broadcast the services to Ghanaians and the entire world. Well, what was the main consideration was that the ministry wanted to give this opportunity to a local company so that there will be a legacy after the African Games. And so we received a number of proposals from various stakeholders, various production houses and all that. But then the consideration, first of all, was to give it to a local person. And
okay, but Kenneth, I asked
so
you.
That is how come the contract was given to them.
Okay, yes, but I asked you that why didn't you sell it? Why did the country decide to pay for it?
Well, this is a program that we all know that everybody would like to send a bid to be able to make something out of it. Yes, it is a program that we tried to sell, actually. But then we wanted to make sure that we'll get the best value out of it. And that is why we thought that, yeah, GBC was the best person to be able to do this for us.
Okay, now, who negotiated the contract between GBC and those third parties?
Well, the contract was between the Ministry of Youth and Sports and GBC. And so that one was done through the local organizing committee for the 13th African Games. And so it was directly, we negotiated directly with GBC. And so it was through the negotiations that we got to know that, yes, they couldn't really get the capacity that we were looking for. And so had to bring in third parties to be able to help them fulfill their obligation.
So these third parties,
you might have cited it, is between Ministry of Youth and Sports and GBC.
So these third parties that you found out were being engaged, did you have any engagement at all with them, or it was solely between GBC and them?
It was solely between GBC and them.
Okay, so just by way of clarification, Kenneth, how much did the ministry pay to GBC?
As at now, just as the release you saw, we have paid a total amount of $3.5 million to GBC.
Why then?
And out of the $3.5 million, we paid $2.5 million to GBC and $1 million to the third parties upon their instructions.
Upon whose instructions?
Upon GBC's instructions.
So why is the Director General of GBC saying this is the only amount they received, $105,000?
Well, I cannot really tell exactly the kind of negotiations that GBC had with the third parties. But as far as we know, we actually had this negotiation with GBC, and the total amount that we were supposed to pay them was $3.6 million, and through which we have been able to make an amount of $3.5 million to GBC. And so
but Kenneth,
to tell why the Director General is not really getting this.
Why would the Director General say that he received, GBC received $105,000 when in fact they received over $3 million?
So that is exactly what I've told you, that we have paid $2.5 million directly to GBC and $1 million to the third parties upon their own instructions that, look, we have engaged these people, so we want you to pay this amount to them, which we have done.
Which third party is this?
If they receive 105, that one we cannot really tell because it may be their negotiations with the third parties.
Kenneth, please.
Which we are not involved in.
Kenneth, please, for clarification purposes, if you say that the GBC says that if they have received $105,000, you may not know because you don't know what they negotiated with them. You said you paid $2.5 million directly to GBC.
Exactly.
What was the mode of payment?
We paid the amount to their accounts, which is by check to them.
You paid it via check to them. And
exactly.
In the memo that they sent to you, because I have cited a memo where it is clearly written there how much money GBC was taking, which is $105,000. When you were paying them the $2.5 million, did you know that they were going to pay the other third parties some of the money? Or you thought that you were paying them the $2.5 million as given to GBC?
The $2.5 million was going directly to them. So it was when they asked that we pay another $1 million to the third parties that we did oblige to it and pay that amount to the third parties.
Which third parties are these?
Well, they have a group of companies that came in to help them implement their obligations. And so we paid the amount to the third parties.
Which company did you pay it to?
Hello?
Which company did you pay it to?
To the accounts of the third parties.
What third party? What company is it?
I don't have the full list of their companies here, but I know very well that that amount was paid to the third parties. And the date that was stated in the press release states here, the date that amount was transferred to the accounts of the third party.
But Kenneth, on a day like this, I would expect that you have the names of the third parties that you pay the monies to, no? Especially with all the controversy.
Exactly. I can get it and finish it with it.
Okay, how does the minister feel about the GBC's denial and their claim? Quickly.
Definitely. If something like this has happened to you, definitely you will not be happy about it. Because knowing very well that you have entered into a very good contract where you think that you are going to help your own local person to be able to also build its own capacity and help to deliver in subsequent or future events of this kind, and such things really come up, it's very disheartening. And so we actually didn't expect this particular issue to end up this way. But I believe that in all these, it might be an issue of miscommunication. And so we would have to find the right forum to be able to address these issues properly.
Okay, finally, Kenneth, how do you respond to the allegations that some monies have been embezzled in the process, and that is why there's all of this misunderstanding and miscommunication, as you put it?
Well, I don't think that, well, I would like to use your platform to let everybody out there know that there's not an issue of embezzlement in this particular case at all. This is just a pure case of maybe miscommunication, because the ministry has said it time and again that these monies have been paid. I don't think that the GBC has come out to say they haven't seen all the payments that has been made. Maybe, all right, for want of better word, I might say that the amount that they said, which is the 105, was what they benefited. That's what the word the Director General used. Okay. That the amount they benefited was only 105,000. So maybe it's just a matter of miscommunication. But he didn't actually say that they haven't seen the total amount paid, which we know very well that we've paid all the amount, and he's very much aware of it.
Thank you very much. Kenneth Annan is the PRO for the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So, yeah, not very happy with the recent development, but yeah, we will continue to investigate it and bring you the details and updates as and when we have it. Let's still stay on the issue because the Ningo Prampram Member of Parliament, Samuel Neto George, has served notice that he would hold the management of GBC before Parliament over the conflicting figures on the amounts paid for the coverage of the All-African Games. Some George, whose question started this controversy in the first place, said he will follow up on the matter to its logical conclusion. He spoke earlier on Star News.
This matter now is pregnant. Is pregnant with twins. One is the veracity of how much money has been paid, 3 million, in excess of 3 million or 105,000. The other has to be with the DG's claim that my suggestion that technicians were not paid is not true. I have memos which I will put out, memos that show that even in the middle of the game, on the either the 13th or 15th of March, during the game, the GBC technical staff served a memo to management that they were going to lay down their tools and stop the broadcast because they weren't being paid. There had to be a crisis meeting between the Director General and the technicians. There are all kinds of questions that have to be asked and have to be answered. So thankfully, I serve on the Public Accounts Committee. That's why I asked this question. But I also am ranking on the Communications Committee, and the Communications Committee has oversight over the GBC and the Ministry of Information. So I'll be discussing with my ranking and chairman to have this matter tabled properly before the committee to investigate the matter.
And you heard the voice of Samuel Neto George. He's Member of Parliament for the Ningo Pram constituency, whose question started the controversy in the first place. And that'll be it for sports. You're still watching Newsroom here on GHOne television. A 36-year-old man, Samuel Boateng, has reportedly abandoned his wife, Gloria Tay, after she gave birth to all-male triplets few years after delivering twins. Gloria Tay, a 25-year-old mother from Nkrangkang in the Yilo Krobo municipality, is currently stranded at the Eastern Regional Hospital in Koforidua. She initially delivered the triplets at home by herself, but was later transported to a local health facility before being referred to the regional hospital. Gloria is currently on admission at the hospital, while the triplets are receiving care in the neonatal intensive care unit and kangaroo mother care services. According to Gloria, her husband left the hospital after being informed by a nurse that she had given birth to triplets. Since then, her husband has not answered any of her calls. The triplets bring the couple's total number of children to 7, including a pair of twins and 2 other children. Over having more children, especially giving her husband's reaction. She shared that Samuel had previously expressed concerns about the financial burden of raising multiple children, citing the struggles he faces in maintaining his barbershop, which is reportedly on the brink of collapse due to high electricity tariffs and low patronage. The distraught mother is now appealing to the general public for financial assistance to pay her hospital bills. The hospital authorities have also raised concerns about the increasing number of mothers stranded at the facility due to their inability to pay their medical bills despite being discharged. Well, ever since the story broke, it's been met with a lot of mixed reactions. Some, championing the cause of family planning and the rest. It's quite sad, by the way, but let's find out what people have got to say on social media. And Mrs. Akwa is standing by looking all sharp. Mrs. Akwa, what are they saying?
Well, Sarah, the majority of people are asking why, after them having twins and another 2 children, they will continue bearing children. Well, here is what you have to say on Facebook. Mohammed says government should take over. Country hard, indeed. Nelly adds, if fertile was a person. Perry says he saw a similar case at KNUST Hospital some years ago. However, in that case, the husband was bold, even though they were people of little means. Blessings come in various forms. Francis adds that poverty can misinterpret blessing to mean bad luck or a curse. Yet some are in full flight. We also have Wonder, bro, running away is not the solution. Come back and face your responsibilities just as you had the courage to impregnate the woman. Kishi Kishi says, your womb has been blessed and being powerful, but lack of money is the problem. Helpers should extend their hands to her. And Monarch Rain says, when we say marry a respectable guy and a successful man, you say true love is not about money. Then later come and do drama on Facebook. Then Roland says he doesn't know the man's side of the story, dear. Sorry, let me take that again. I don't know the man's side of the story, but dear men, let's do better, I beg. Then when we move over to Instagram, I know a woman sleeping in a kiosk who had 3 deliveries and 9 children. Life is not fair. Then we also have here, no emotions here. Heard. These women these days are very sneaky. What if the man left because he found out the kids were not his? We also have Joe, some rich couple somewhere praying hard for this opportunity whilst the poor couple got it but can't afford to take care of it. In fact, this world no balance crow. They say wanty wanty no get and getty getty no want. May the good Lord send them a helper. Ochadia says, in an advanced world, the government will definitely support. Right. Well, that's what we have time for, unfortunately. Let me hand straight back over to Serwaa. My name is Nanama Akwa.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Akwa. Family planning is very important, I must say. Let's do some health issues now. And the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital has reopened its outpatient renal dialysis unit after addressing a shortage of essential consumables that forced the unit to close for 3 weeks. In a statement issued on Tuesday, the hospital management announced that all consumables stuck at the Temoport will be cleared by the end of the week, allowing the units to resume full operations. Now, earlier, renal patients had threatened to picket at the renal units in protest over the shortage, which deprived them of vital medical care. However, with the prompt delivery of the consumables, the delivery has scheduled dialysis sessions to begin effective today. Has it truly happened? Let's cross over to the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital and speak with my colleague, Nadima Umar Uthman. Nadima, I know that you have been in there. Tell us what you saw and what the patients have got to say.
Right, absolutely. Good news for the outpatients of the renal unit as finally the facility is open to the outpatients of the renal unit. Remember, it was closed for 3 weeks and this had a severe impact on kidney patients, particularly those who are outpatients of the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital. And so yesterday, management of the facility released a statement telling us that the renal unit will now be finally open to the outpatients, and we're here behind me. It is truly open in there. The first session has begun. It has ended actually. The first session started around 3 a.m. and so that is over. Currently in there is the second batch of the scheduled patients who are in there being dialyzed. And so, Serwaa, good news for the renal patients, particularly the outpatients of the kidney patients.
Thank you very much, Nadima Umar Uthman, for bringing us that report. And we are not sleeping on this dialysis issue because they shut down last year. It was something entirely different, debt issues, and this year it has happened again. We hope that next year it really does not happen. It's now time for some election-related stories. Tomorrow morning on the morning show, the EIB Election Hub will begin the series of Voters Connect. And we're making our first stop at the Ablekuma North constituency. But before tomorrow, let's take a look at a very comprehensive report from that constituency.
The Ablekuma North constituency has been in existence since 1992. Areas under the jurisdiction of Ablekuma North include Kwashiman, Odoko, Dakuman Kokompe, Nyamiche, and parts of Dansoman. It has been a stronghold of the MPP since 1996. Kwamina Battles has been the constituency's longest-serving MP until 2008, when Justice Joe Appiah took over from him and later defeated Ras Mubarak of the NDC in 2012. In 2016, Nana Akua Owusu-Afriyie represented the MPP in Parliament, but subsequently lost to Sheila Bartels, the daughter of Kwamina Bartels, during the MPP primaries for the 2020 parliamentary elections, and is currently the MP for the area. But here is the interesting twist of events. Nana Akua Owusu-Afriyie, who lost to the incumbent MP Sheila Bartels, has staged a strong comeback by beating Sheila Bartels in the MPP primaries to be the parliamentary candidate for the 2024 elections. Though the MPP has dominated the political landscape in the area, some constituents who spoke to the news team say they're unhappy with the performance of the MPP.
Especially MPP.
Some taxi drivers at the Kwashima taxi station in an interview served notice that they will not vote for the MPP this time round because they believe the MPP have taken constituents for granted. They cited poor roads and many other unfulfilled promises.
Taxi station ha ye committee ya oba meeting ase odi em bekasa e na obisa ye how ye kan ye how nyina kire no including road ya eda high apikis road ya top ye omu ba be omu promise ya e na omu di sapiti begu su road na da wa che oba ye no ye ka kire ni say ye road we ani ye how a den e high en pipe say ufri akra na wo ba traffic tia o ho na ye den ye doji fa we ti anya road na ma omu be promise e no omu promise no e no omu ye den omu be gu sa road de we su e di be dada e
the MPP win ba bibi ankoso so kwasibu kwani na mani na anya obi bo for drop kra kwasibu ye enko because kwani na anya a center inside e room e ban ya kwani nya what I say but ye wa MPP ene etisu de bia ye bre what I say
The parliamentary seats for the 2024 elections in the Ablekuma North constituency will be keenly contested by the MPP's Nana Akua Owusu-Afriyie and the NDC's Irabna Obin, who are matching each other boot for boot with billboards scattered at vantage points in the constituency. In an interview with the NDC's parliamentary candidates, Irabna Obin called out the MPP for turning a blind eye to the plight of constituents and described their track record as abysmal.
Cast your mind back years back, the constituency hasn't progressed or it hasn't improved. Nothing seems to be better. Ablekuma North constituency is a problematic one. Yes, the other party, that is the inconsiderate NPP, has been in power for nearly 30 years. Nothing works. Nothing works in this constituency. Look at our road networks. And so if MPP has been in power for nearly 30 years and we have nothing useful to boast about, then your guess should be as good as mine.
Although the news team engaged the MPP parliamentary candidate for an interview, the attempt proved unsuccessful.
With over 30,000 votes difference between the NDC and the MPP in the 2020 elections, can the NDC bridge this gap and possibly win the Ablekuma North seat for the first time? Well, 7 December is just around the corner. Reporting for GHOne News, Obed Kingaglo, Ablekuma North.
Right, so yesterday the Electoral Commission opened the voters register to have people double-check their names in that register ahead of the December polls. Remember, it's 108 days to election 2024. Yesterday, we reported low turnout at the various polling centers, but today is day 2. Let's cross over to our correspondents across the country and get an update on the exercise. My colleague Isaac Bediako is over there from the Ashanti region and joins me. Isaac, good afternoon. Thank you very much. Where exactly are you? What is the update on day 2?
Well, so currently I'm stationed in Swami constituency, and I must say that it's generally I've visited not less than 6 polling stations in this particular constituency, and none of the constituency has able to record more. Polling stations has been able to record more than 100 electorates coming to a polling center to come and verify their names. And now let me start from the Bishop Sapon JHS, that's where I started. And in this particular center, they have 2 polling stations. That is polling station A and B. As at yesterday, all put together in the 2 polling stations, they recorded 27 people who came there to verify their name in the voters register. Police station A recorded 14 people, then police station B also recorded 13. As at 10:43 a.m. this morning when I went there, only 13 people had come to verify their name, 6 for police station A and 7 for police station B. From there, I moved to the Anamanje Poase polling center. They recorded 68 people as at yesterday that came to check their name in the voter register. This morning, as at 10:49 a.m., 33 people had come there to check their names. From there, I moved to Anomanji Basic School. In that particular polling center, 22 people came to verify their name in station B. Then station A had 10. In the morning, when I was leaving there around 11 a.m., a total of 2 people had come to police station A, then police station B, 9. From there, I came to Takwa JHS. 30 people yesterday came here to check their name. As at now, 2 people have come here to check their name. Then St. Joseph Takwa RC JHS, 2. Yesterday they recorded 2 people. Then this morning, as at now, they have also recorded 1. Then Takwa MA Primary School, they recorded 14 yesterday. This morning, they have recorded 6. Now let's engage this gentleman here who is in charge of this particular polling center or polling station. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You are live on GHOne TV. What do you have now?
Thank you very much. I'm the exhibition officer at MAGHS Takwa, Swame. My name is Abraham Bedu.
What do you have now? Yesterday, how many people came here to come and check their name in the voter register?
Yesterday, I had 30 people who came and then registered, or who came and checked their names. 17 were male and 13 were female. Then as at now, as I'm talking to you, only 3 have registered, or 3 have checked their names.
Is it because they have not popularized this particular exercise very well that you are recording low turnout, or it's a general thing that every year when you do this exhibition, the exercise, people do not come out in their numbers to come and check their names?
Well, I think we are supposed to go around the NCC, the EC themselves, and then the other political parties are also supposed to go around to inform members that the EC has opened the exhibition centers for them to go and then check their names. So when they do that, I think the members will come.
But so you personally, have you made any attempt to engage the people here? I mean, we are in Swami Magazine now. Have you engaged the artisans here that you're doing this exercise so they should come and check their names? Because all the people here, they did their registration here.
Yeah, not all of them. Some of them did it back at where they stay. It's only that they came here to work. And then others also came here this one to come and ask me that what is happening here. I told me that they have opened the exhibition center for them to come and check their names for the voting comes December. So others said when they go back home, they'll go and then check there. So at now, this morning, I went around to inform members that this is what is going on. So others said they don't have their ID card. I told them that with that ID card, you can come and then check your names here.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, Serwaa, that is the situation in the Ashanti region. It is not peculiar to this particular polling center alone. Most of the areas that we have come to check out the development in those electoral areas, we are getting the same results, Serwaa.
Thank you very much. Justice Bediako, my colleague in the Ashanti region, reporting from the Swami constituency. And low turnout again for day 2. Look, it's 108 days to election 2024. And please, make sure that you have checked your name. So double check that your name is actually there. Or you can actually do it from the comfort of your home for a little fee of 50 pesos. I know it's not so little. We'll get into that. Let's cross over to the Western region and speak with Hajia Fati Karim. Hadia, thank you very much for joining us. Where exactly are you and what can you report?
Okay, right now I am at Tanakrom in the Piakwe municipality, and here I'm currently at TI Amihere 5. And as at yesterday, only 5 people were able to come check for their names, and today, to only 5 people today too have been able to come check and verify for their names. And I spoke to one of the officers, and 319 people are supposed to be here today too, or are in their names are in the register and are supposed to come verify, but only 5 people are here. And also, I also went to one of the centers at the West Tanakrom area, and the center is preparatory school preparatory school 1 and 2, A and B, and all put together, only 50 people were able to come verify their names as at yesterday. And today, as at 10:30, only 29 people were able to check for their names. I tried to speak to some of them and to get the input there, how it's going so far, and they are telling me they've been given the instruction not to talk to any media house. So that's the situation here in the Tanakrom West Center.
Thank you very much. Hadia Fatih Karim reporting from the Western region. Another low turnout recorded in that region. Well, the voter registration exercise, well, it's not a registration, but for you to be able to double check your name in the voters register, it's until next Tuesday. So please take advantage of it. And it includes Saturday and Sunday. Please make sure that you double check. Still on it, the Member of Parliament for South Dai constituency, Roxy Nelson Dafiamako, has criticized the decision by the Electoral Commission to charge electorates 50 pesos for using mobile platforms to check their eligibility on the voters register. The EC says that persons who are unable to visit the district centers to check their names can use the USSD code to check the eligibility at a cost. But Dafiamako says 50 pesos is unlawful. He spoke on our sister station, Star FM.
Up on its own, so moto and levy. Imagine that the levy price. Would you have agreed if they have said that you should pay 5? Would you have agreed if they have said that okay, you have to pay 50 cedis? So you don't determine the rate that you want to apply for people to be able to access these services. So moto. You must come to Parliament. So even if you intended to levy such a fee, it is Parliament that must approve of it. I've called upon them, the EC, to as a matter of urgency, withdraw that 50 pesos, and anybody that they took 50 pesos from them, they should refund it. The people should have free access to determining from the register whether their names are included. That is why the voters, the exhibition of the provisional voters register is such a major exercise underpinned in CI 127 and CI 127, which the EC has a budget for. That is why you recruit exhibition officers that are paid for by the state for them to sit down, open the register for people to come and have a look. So if you are deploying other formulas for people to do that, let the state pay for it. Don't charge people. So for instance, if I decide to use the short code, but I'm not willing to pay the 50 cedis, what happens? If I don't have the money to pay, and yet for some reason, I am bedridden, I cannot go and have check my name in the register. Is the EC saying if I don't pay the 50 cedis, I cannot use the short code?
And just by way of public education, the voter exhibition exercise is still on from now till Tuesday, the 27th of August, 2024. Please take advantage of it and double check your name in the voters register. That's it for Election Hub. The campaign team of the MPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has denied allegations of copying from the NDC's running mate, Professor Jainano Pukwajiman. The former education minister, during her market tours, accused the NPP of stealing the NDC's Women Bank promise by introducing a women's traders fund in their manifesto. However, speaking on GH Today with me earlier, the NPP's Director of Campaign Communications, Dennis Miracles Abwaji, countered the claim, arguing that there is a significant chance and difference between a bank and a fund.
To run a fund and to run a bank are two different things.
Right.
Accessibility of funding from a fund and accessibility of funding from a bank are not the same.
Okay.
What it means is that the real interrogation is the solution. Which one is viable?
Okay.
Which one is accessible?
Okay.
Which one is feasible? Which one is convenient? But how do you tell me that Women Traders Empowerment Fund, that's the name of
so
what?
Did you copy it or not?
How? Copy what? Did you copy the challenge? Did we copy the challenge?
Okay.
Why didn't Nana Jane say it when she was in government? She was a minister. Why didn't she set up the bank then?
The vice president.
Why didn't the vice president set it then? But what is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? Is he president? The same way the president, former President Mahama, is promising us a women bank. Why? The women didn't have challenge 8 years ago when he was president. Why didn't he set it up then? So that's why I keep saying that. Please stop asking that question.
Tax analyst Francis Timori-Boy is advocating for a reduction of the current 10% tax on betting to 5%, suggesting that a threshold should be introduced to make Ghana more competitive with other countries. Commenting on the NPP manifesto launched on August 18, the analyst highlighted that the global betting industry is projected to grow by $132 billion by 2030. He described betting as a profitable sector that many countries are increasingly interested due to its significant revenue potential.
The principle is that betting is a form of investment, just like someone has invested. The only challenge here is that it's so risky. You play it and you can lose everything. So we tax only the winnings. In 2023, when we brought a new law, we took it to 10%. I think that what he has to do is to bring back the 10% to 5% and then introduce a threshold, just like we had in 2015. In that way, then we'll be going along with other countries. You know, these days when they are playing even Premier League, you see the betting companies advertising, which means that a lot of countries are participating. And it's growing, that the betting industry is growing. Maybe first 2,000 Ghana cedis. If you win a bet of 2,000 Ghana cedis and below, we will not tax you. If it goes beyond that, then we apply the tax rate. But whichever be the case, betting is a form of investment and it has to be taxed just like any other person investing and being taxed.
Now, Ghana loses an estimated $23.7 million annually to illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. To address this, fishmongers and fisherfolk are advocating for the amendment to the Fisheries Act 2002, Act 602. This initiative, spearheaded by the Environmental Justice Foundation and the Sustainable Oceans Project, is leading engagements in 4 coastal areas of the country.
At a recent joint advocacy workshop, members of the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council and the National Association of Fish Processors and Traders discussed the need for comprehensive legal reforms. The workshop emphasized the importance of a unified approach to push for changes to the country's fisheries laws. The Fisheries Act 2002 regulates fishing methods, establishes fishing zones, and licenses fishing vessels. However, illegal practices like psycho and the use of monofilament nets persist. The Act is being reviewed to introduce harsher penalties to combat IUU fishing and ensure sustainable fishing. Stakeholders are focused on strengthening enforcement mechanisms and introducing heavier penalties to deter illegal activities. Araba Ewa Boating is the advocacy manager for the Environmental Justice Foundation. She explains the initiative aims to push for stricter penalties to deter non-compliant individuals.
For some time now, we are all thinking about how the laws, the fisheries laws can be reviewed, and we have been working around it for some time now. But as we speak, the laws have been a review. A draft has been brought out. So now we want our stakeholders, to essentially the grassroots stakeholders, to come together, to have one voice, so that we can push this agenda.
National Chief Fisherman and Chairman of the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council is optimistic the initiative would make greater impact in the fishing industry.
Because of the nature of the sea, without borders, our activities impact on our neighboring countries, and therefore, most of the laws are ratified by maybe the sub-region or the region, or globally. You understand? So we are treating most of the issues bedeviling the industry on global, regional, and sub-regional. It's no more a national issue where you think that the sea belongs to you, and therefore, we can do what and as we like.
The Okada business, despite its controversial nature, has offered financial stability, dignity and purpose to countless individuals. Yet, the debate over its legality and societal impact continues to rage. In this report, we hear directly from those who rely on this trade, exploring the vital role it plays in their lives and why they believe it deserves recognition and support.
In the face of rising unemployment, one profession has become a beacon of hope for millions of Ghanaians. The Okada business has grown to become more than just a means of getting from one place to another. It's an industry that sustains livelihoods, empowers families, and builds communities.
These Okada things I do, I build my 4-bedroom self-contained, and I have 9 children. 2 children are university, and 4 are secondary schools. With this Okada, I take care of them.
The Okada industry is not just a casual hustle. It's a well-organized sector with regional and local executives working together to protect their interests. As the business expands, riders are pushing for recognition and regulation, highlighting their potential contribution to national revenue if legalized and formalized.
A severe shortage of potable drinking water has struck the nurses' quarters in Kaswa, leaving residents in a state of distress. The sudden scarcity has disrupted daily life, affecting household, healthcare and hygiene. Frustrated residents have lamented that they cannot recall the last time they had clean drinking water and that they are forced to rely on untreated sources, which is a serious health risk for them. The community relies on a single water treatment plant, which has been overwhelmed by demand. The residents have resorted to buying expensive bottled water or queuing for hours at public taps. The residents opined that they deserve access to clean drinking water. They also demand that the authorities address the matter as soon as possible, as it is a critical issue. Now, as the shortage persists, concerns grow for the impact on public health, particularly for vulnerable populations like young children and the elderly.
So enum kra ayasem pure water ena nkwala se edu se opesia ansa na opesa obako school pa de se pure water when dwale ni pure water ontimi nko school ana nsuo ye da ye chi agei enu na nkwala ibam be makete esim no otu ansa na we nyanso nkakra na we sade akodware ni ma wanya ni saa unye bi num enti ye ha de ye pamu tro aban nurses quarters eye gas out ye ni nsu hu ye di ni wa ha pa
nkwala nkra be ko school at times we go school late because of nsuo asem
disasem na koto abananim but she amfa ho yankasa yetua na mo eko waterways yeko regional manager no ene nu kasa ye obehwe area no nyina but ne nyina nso so no she amfree ma.
Now, on the international front, a plane crashed into Lake Malawi on Tuesday with 3 people on board, a Malawian official said. A Dutch passenger survived and was rescued by fishermen, but another passenger and the pilot are missing. And that'll be it for the news. On behalf of the entire production team led by Mrs. Alice Ening, thank you very much for watching. The news team will be back at 6:30 with news tonight. I am Serwaa. Have a very good afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day.